Great people, welcome to NameTech channel. My name is Nehemiah and I'm very happy to have you on board. So this is lesson 3 on Matplotlib and we are going to talk about the markers. But then before we begin, please subscribe, like and share the video. And to the returning subscribers, also you can like and share the video as well. But I really appreciate you very much for your continual support. Now basically guys, you can use the keyword argument marker to emphasize each point in basically in a specified marker. So perhaps guys, let me show you an example. I introduced these stuffs in the previous tutorial, but then today we are going to talk about it much deeper. So first of all, we are going to import Matplotlib with the import keyword Matplotlib, but then it work with the alias plt. Actually pyplot, pi should be pyplot. Remember guys, I'm using this Jupyter notebook for the sake of teaching you, but then if you want to have suggestion when you are typing, just use those IDE like PyCharm or Visual Studio Code. And then here let me use what PLT, but then I'm gonna use it as an alias PLT. And then also we are going to import NumPy. So let me say import NumPy is what np alias also. Then let me define my y points. Remember, if you don't define the x-axis, it usually pick the default values from 0, 1, 2, 3. It goes in that hierarchy. So in this way, I'm gonna just specify the y-axis. Then for x, it will sort itself. So here, let me just say, let me use a NumPy array np dot array. And then I'm going to pass in a list of some integers here, some values. So the first one, perhaps let me say 3, and then 3, 8, 1, just any random numbers. And then also let's define now the plot function. Actually, to plot our graph, we are going to use a plt dot plot. Then we are gonna plot the y points. Let me just say y points because there are several for my variable to work better. Basically, you can just use any other variable, but let it be somehow make sense. Then just type you pass in your variable there. Then also we are gonna add in another argument called marker, and then we are going to assign it to the O, not 0 O. Should be O. And then guys, to visualize, we are going to use a plt dot show function. Remember guys, if you are not using Anaconda, you might want to download or install other compilers for it to plot those graphs of ours. But then I always ensure that you have Anaconda. It usually have those packages like the graphical user interface for these stuffs. But then let me try to run, and then I'll see if it will work. And then perhaps you can see matplotlib.pyplot. I think there's an error somewhere. Matplotlib.pyplot. Oh, I forgot to add in here the AS keyword. Remember, we are using PLT as an alias. And then let me run, and then it must work. And then guys, basically you can see we have done what we have marked each point with a circle here. Actually a 0. These rounded stuffs. So that's how you can do that, or you can as well use the asterisk instead of this circle. You can just pass in your asterisk here. Then when you run, you'll have the asterisks there. I think you can see. But then you can as well use other stuffs like you can even choose to use the X. Let me just pass in X so that you may have the cross. And then let me run. And then guys, basically you can see you can as well use what those are cross. You can use even the plus field. Let me just pass in. Then let me run. And then guys, basically you can see the plus fields also works. You can try as there are many arguments. You can use even hexadecimal. like you can just pass in here h, and then it will do what it will work. So guys, basically that's how you can do it. That's how you can add points or markers to your graphs. But then let me now talk about the format string, actually FMT. You can also use the shortcut string notation parameter to specify the marker. Now guys, basically this parameter is called FMT, and it is written with the syntax marker, line, and color in that format. So remember guys, it begins with a marker, then a line, then the color. Like, let me show you an example guys. Here I'm going to change it to, let me first of all remove this marker argument here, because it's already defined in this FMT, of which the first argument is a marker, of which you are going to use O, and then the line we are going to use the dashed, and then actually or a dotted, and then the color I'm going to use red. Then let me run, and then guys, I think there's an error here guys. It shouldn't be 0, it should be O, not 0. Then let me run it again, and then guys, you can see it works. You can as well try with a dashed one, just passing 2 dashes, and then you can see the results. You can see it's now dashed, and then you can try perhaps dashed with a dot. Just passing here, your line should be first of all O, then a dash, then a dot, then it will be like this one. But then guys, always ensure that you have a compiler, or if you're using Anaconda, you are good. But then if you ain't using Anaconda, you're just using Jupyter Notebook, ensure that you have installed those compilers, those GUI, compilers. And then let me talk about the marker size. You can also choose to specify the marker size. So guys, basically you can use the keyword argument marker size, or the shorter version ms, to set the size of the markers. So for example, here, let me just first of all remove these arguments here. Let me just remove here, and then what I do, let me say again marker, and then I'm gonna pass in our line. Actually, the markers in our point is gonna be 0, not O. It should be O, not 0. 0 and O usually confuse me on my keyboard. Then here the ms, or the marker size, I'm gonna assign it to something like even 20. Let me give it even 20, and then let me run. Then I guess you can see it's very, very big. Let me change a different marker. Let me use asterisk, right? And then I'll see the changes. Let me just use here the asterisk. Then let's see the results. So guys, basically you can see this is how you can increase the size of the marker. So let me now talk about what, or rather guys, before that, color. For colors here, I showed you earlier with red, but then for colors you can use R for red, G for green, B for blue, C for cyan, M for magenta, Y for yellow, K for black, W for white. So guys, perhaps what else should I do? Let me talk about the marker color in details guys. Now guys, basically you can use the keyword argument marker edge color, or the shorter version MEC for marker edge color, to set the color of the edge of the marker. So here I'm gonna add in another argument. Let me pass in another argument called marker edge. Actually it should be marker edge color, and then the shorter version. Then I'm gonna pass in color. Let me use which color this time? Let me try to change. Perhaps let me try to use magenta. Magenta is defined using M. Then what I do, let me run again. And then I guess you can see the edges. Let me try to zoom in further so that you may see the results. You can see the edges of these markers are red. let me zoom out a bit so that we may continue with the series. So that's how you can use the colors. So alright, let me try to change it to perhaps red. I don't know if red it will be visible well, because I'm sure you can't see better on your end. Let me try with red, perhaps it's shouty. So guys, I think you can see when I try to zoom in further. So yeah, so guys, basically that's how you can mark the edges of your marker. Now guys, basically we can also use we can use the keyword argument marker face color, or the shorter version MFC to set the color inside the edge of the marker. But I'm sure, I don't know if you'll be able to see. Let me just change it to this was marker edge color, but then now for marker face color we are going to use MFC. Then let me do it. Let me run, and then now guys, basically you can see now the inside is now red. Let's change to something else, like which color should I use here? Which color is, let me try green. Let me try green. Remember, green is G. And then what I do, let me run again. Then again, I think you can see it is green there. And then what else should I teach you on these markers? I know guys, now you understand the difference between the MFC and marker edge color and marker face color arguments. So you can as well use the hexadecimal colors if you don't want to use the default values, like you can use the hexadecimal colors if you're good with the CSS. Just specify the colors there. Like should I show you an example, guys? Let me just show you one. Perhaps let me use a color for green. For green, let me use which is the color. What is the color code for green? Remember, it's defined. You begin with a hash. Then perhaps let me say 4C AF 50. How many are there? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there are 6. I think it's green, or yeah, I think it's green. Or let me try for yellow. For yellow, it is usually F, and then a 0, 0, 0, 0, and then you can see it's yellow. For red, it is usually let me try perhaps orange. For orange, it's usually FFA 500. Then let me run. So guys, basically you understand now that you can as well use what these are, hexadecimal values to mark your points. Or perhaps guys, you can just use the color name, like you can just say something like a red, hot pink. Let me try here. Let me say hot. Let me use a small letter. Let me just say hot pink. Hot pink, like this. Then what I do, let me run. And then guys, you can see it's now hot pink here. So you can as well define with this color name. Or let me just say black. Or white. Let me just use white. And then what I do, let me run. And then guys, you can see the inside now is white. So guys, basically this is what I wanted to show you in this tutorial about the Matplotlib markers, and I think guys, you've gained a lot. Please now subscribe, like, and share this video to your friends. Until next time, this is Nehemiah. Goodbye.